are you home? And I said, "Well, I'm not home." I said, "I don't know." We came up and looked, and then we got here.
Good morning.
Oh, yeah, but, he said, "I don't know if this is gonna work." And the next thing I know, he said, "Oh, that'll be just." Most of it was just on the internet. You know, well, mine is actually fake. Isn't that 92? Yeah, 30 years old, because my place was built in 92. I guess.
So you don't happen to know the new yoga schedule, do you?
Yes.
Oh.
Well, I have the draft, which I think is final. It's starting up in October, the full schedule of classes.
More classes.
Yes, so I'm gonna be adding a class on Thursdays. Yay! 9:30 for an hour, and it's gonna be a yoga and meditation class. So we'll spend about half the time in each doing asanas and then practicing meditation. And Sue is returning and she'll be doing her Tuesday morning class, Chi Yoga. And then I think she's adding another class. Let me see if I can find Stephanie's email. I was just doing something with Zoom, but yeah, so, but then there's other instructors that are, I guess, starting classes, like instructors, I don't know.
In yoga.
No, other forms of exercise, fitness and, yeah. So the new directors, have you guys met Stephanie?
Yeah.
Okay, so she's the one putting it together. Let me see if I could find her email.
So Steve, I guess I have to pick off. Because I'm so bad. He knows how bad I am. That's why I'm telling him.
It's not about better or worse. It's added.
I have bad attitudes.
If you're willing to play golf, it's frustrating for everyone. It's a stupid game.
For a ball that doesn't move, right? It's sitting there, right?
No, I do this. Yeah, but no.
But no, no.
Sometimes you listen, sometimes it goes 5 feet. and then-
Robin Williams' bit on the invention of golf.
Oh, really?
Have you ever seen it?
No.
Oh my God, you have to Google it. You have to.
Oh,
It
oh,
is,
probably on YouTube, huh?
yeah, oh yeah, it is. And Billy Connolly, the Scottish comedian, he's got a similar bit. Oh my God, it's just, and it just it gets better, like as he gets into it. Yeah, yeah.
Son showed
on
me
the
one that
invention.
has this like country club woman who looks perfect. And she has like all the matching gloves and bag and everything. And she's like, today I'm gonna go golf. And it just goes downhill from there. The worst language you could ever hear. And she's like, oh, I like golf.
So yeah, here's the schedule. So Mondays, 7:30, there'll be an hour total body strength. Sloan's doing that on Zoom. And then yoga here at 9, water aerobics, Zumba, 10:30. So Mondays, I guess, are the same. So Tuesday, Sue's Chi Yoga will be at 9:45 for an hour, followed by a general fitness class. And then that evening, an instructor, you have 2 Nancys, but that's Nancy Ray. I don't know if maybe she's new. So she's going to be doing a total body strength and conditioning at 6 p.m. on Tuesday nights. Wednesday is a lot. Wednesday, cardio, fat burner through Zoom. Stephanie's leading an arms and core, 8:45, yoga fit. So some sort of yoga fitness style class that Stephanie does at 9:45 on Wednesdays. water aerobics. Stephanie's doing a total body fitness, 10:45. And then Sue is gonna do Qigong. So her Chi yoga is a combination of Qigong and yoga asanas, where she's gonna introduce Qigong. So that will be at from 4 to 5 on Wednesdays. And then a boot camp style. And then Thursdays will be my yoga and meditation class in the morning, followed by Jamie's doing a general fitness at 11:15. And then Fridays, Stephanie's got a guts and butts class at 8:45. And then she will do a dance fit at 9:45. And then, so she's doing 3 classes that morning: guts and butts, dance fit, and then stretch and recover.
Wow.
I guess you'll need the recover after. So that, yeah, so there's a lot starting in October. Yeah.
This is draft.
Well, it does say final draft.
She's on vacation.
So it looks like that, I think, well, like I caught an error. She didn't put Zoom by my classes. So like, yeah, but I think in general, that's the.
So if we start telling people.
Hi, Joyce. Hi, Deb. Glad you could join us. Your final days up there, right?
Yes, we are leaving next week. So
What?
we are leaving next week, but I won't see you because you're going to be out that Monday when I'm back.
Right.
So-
Yeah, so just another reminder, I will not be here on Monday, it's the 26th, right? No, two Mondays. So next Monday is the 19th, and then the 26th, I'll be up in New Jersey for Rosh Hashanah. It's the Jewish holiday, it's the Jewish New Year.
That cancellation, the other cancellations are already
Yeah. And then Sue will not be doing that new Qigong class Thursday, October 5th, because that's Yom Kippur. So.
And I'll be in Asheville, North Carolina next Monday. So
Very nice.
I won't see you next Monday.
Well, there's a lot of yoga studios in Asheville. Find there's good ones.
We're there just a day. Going to go see the Biltmore and then head on down to Naples. So
Loving the bangs.
oh, geez. Oh, thanks. A rocket 'em, huh?
And Nancy, I'll be gone for a couple weeks. I'm heading out to Utah to the national parks.
Oh, beautiful.
So I'll see you after you get back after the 26th.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Good to know. So some nice plans that everybody has.
But you're going to have a full studio come this fall and yeah, it's going to be great.
Yeah. Well, Steve's back. Yay. And what's your name?
Nancy Brown.
Oh, you're another Nancy. Yay. And are you seasonal or are you here?
It's seasonal,
Okay.
but here a little early this year. because of Waiting for a house up. We want to be ready.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
welcome.
Thank you.
Happy to have you. And have you done yoga in the past?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. I feel like, have you been in this class before?
this is the
No? Oh,
first.
okay. You looked familiar. All right, let's get rocking and rolling here. What am I doing here? All right, we will start seated. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out there, mute all. There we go. Okay. Everybody have blocks? All right. I'm gonna incorporate a little bit more instruction today than I normally do. You know that I teach at Love Yoga, and we do what's called the pose of the month. And this month is downward dog. And there's just been some really great lessons. Wow, I haven't even set up my mat yet. There's just been some really great learnings that we've been doing that I thought would be good to share with you all, since we practice downward dog a lot. And you know that I am big on alignment. That comes down from my teachers, but also how yoga feels in my body, that when we are in proper alignment, it's when we can feel the greatest benefits of the poses. So we'll do some warming up, and then we just might not flow as much as we normally do, but a little bit more instruction on downward dog. So definitely have your blocks toward the front of your mat, so you have those accessible. So if your hips are tight, you might want to elevate your seat with the block for just this first opening. And the way we do that is resting our sits bones. You're not really sitting back on the block, but you're coming forward. So hopefully the knees will drop lower than the hips. And your sits bones really are resting on the edge of the block. So you could see the difference in how tall the spine gets. Hi, everyone who's joined us. Catherine, welcome. I see a new face on there. Who's that? Michael, hi, nice to have you join us. And the pelvis is rocking forward, tilting forward slightly. So Rosie, if you can scoot forward just a little bit more so that the full seat is not on the block, but you feel the difference where you come forward so that the knees can drop down toward the mat a little bit. It's not that comfortable. And the sits bones are right on the edge of the block. How's that feel? Yeah? Feel good, Julia?
There's not much pressure on my ankles.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, me too.
It's more pressure or less pressure?
Less.
Less.
Yeah.
And I bring my knees out wider versus bringing them in close. So I don't know if you want to try that, to take the knees out a little bit wider. And then feel that lift in your spine. Yeah. You all look good from here. Does that feel like you can stay like that for a few minutes? Yeah, good. How's that feel, Angela? Steve looks good. Feel like you're curving a little bit in. Can you lift up, and if you rock a little bit forward? Yeah, yeah, there. Did you feel that difference? I saw it for a sec. All right, good. So now close your eyes. Take a deep inhale through the nose. Exhale it out through the mouth. Another deep inhale through the nose. Side out. And then find your natural breath, inhaling and exhaling. So we are an observer to our practice. So right now, observe the breath, just moving at its natural pace. And there's zero effort, zero work involved. So I recently completed an online training course in a path of yoga called restorative yoga. Restorative yoga really brings in the mindfulness and the opportunity to modulate our nervous system. We often run pretty high on our sympathetic nervous system and have our parasympathetic nervous system to help balance that fight flight mode, that sort of feeling of a heightened anxiety level. Restorative yoga has a reputation of, falling asleep or using a lot of props to be able to really have the support beneath you in poses, but really the whole mindfulness of restorative yoga can be applied in any asana practice. It's finding ways where we can soften. So even if we're in downward dog, if we're in more challenging poses, we pay attention to our breath. It helps modulate our entire nervous system. And the more we practice it here on our mat, the more we're able to practice it off of our mat in our daily lives and contribute to our wholeness and our overall well-being. One of the practices that I had to do in the training was a writing exercise, and journaling is a form of meditation. Journaling is a form of helping to modulate the nervous system. So we were asked to write down why we practice yoga. And it was asked of us 3 times, and then we had to highlight a sentence in each of the writings that really spoke to our heart. So this is what mine ended up being. I love that the practice has no end and continues to evolve. The times of feeling contentment keep me coming back for more. I practice yoga to help me ground and to care for myself. I practice yoga to help me to continue to evolve as a human, being more in tune with myself as a whole and how I connect with others. So just sharing that with you to maybe tap into your why, help you to connect with what brings you to your mat. Bring your hands to your heart center, set an intention with a word or a little phrase that you feel in your heart. And then take a moment to dedicate your practice to a loved one. Someone that maybe you connect with on a regular basis, or maybe someone who you'd like to connect with more. We'll open with the sound of Om, so take a full inhale and exhale fully out. And inhale. Om. Let the hands drop to the knees and just open the eyes about 25%, letting in a little bit of light at a time, just taking in what you see. Open the eyes 25% more, noticing what's coming into your vision. Opening the eyes 25% more. And then fully opening them. Just looking around, taking it all in. And then just a quick eye exercise. So take your eyes, only eyes, don't move your head. Take your eyes up to 12 o'clock. over to 3 o'clock, down to 6 o'clock, over to 9 o'clock, back up to 12, and now take it over to 9 o'clock, down to 6. I know you want to move your head. Over to 3 and up to 12, and then just come back to looking straight ahead. Flicker the eyes a few times, and let's rock forward, coming to our tabletop pose. And bring your block and place it in between your thighs. Starting with a little bit more engagement this morning for our thighs. So let the thighs hug the block. So then what you're creating is a little bit of an internal rotation. And we stack our shoulders in line with our elbows and wrists. Press into the tops of your feet just a little bit and draw your belly button towards your spine to engage the core and neutralize the spine. And then on an inhale, tilt your tailbone up. You'll feel the block moving back. Tilt your head up a little bit. Feel the opening across the chest for cow pose. And then exhale. Now the block's coming through a little bit. You can see a greater rotation of the thighs. Draw the navel in, tuck your chin to your chest. Press the earth away from you, cat pose. Next inhale, coming into cow. Exhale into cat. Inhale into cow pose. And exhale into cat pose. So 3 more rounds, move with your breath. So on the flow of your breath, starting to match breath with movement. And you can do it at your own pace versus matching the pace of what your neighbor is doing. One more round. And then coming back to neutral, you can take the block, move it off to the side or the top of toward the top of the mat. And then extending the right leg back behind you. Coming on your toes. And then drop that right heel down, getting a good stretch in the back of that right leg. Inhale as you rock forward. And exhale, drop that heel down. Inhale, rock forward. And exhale, drop it down. And then next inhale, lift that right leg, finding balance here in your leveling of the hips. So the right toes are flexed and pointing to the mat. And now draw your hips toward the midline. Press into the top of that left foot. And now lift that left arm up in line with the ear. And if that's too much, you can drop that arm and just focus on the leg. And then turning the hand to face the exit wall so that we feel a little bit of a rotation in that left shoulder. So bringing it ear to ear. And now think about lengthening through the left fingertips and pressing through the heel of that right foot. Feel that lengthening of the spine. And then a little core work here. Take an inhale. On your exhale, draw your elbow towards your knee, rounding the back a little bit. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, elbow to knee. 2 more. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, elbow to knee. And then lengthen, drop that left hand down and cross the right leg behind you. Keep your shoulders squared. So keep looking in between your hands. Make sure the shoulders are squared. And now turn your head to look over the left shoulder, maybe catching glimpse of your big toe. Stretching really both sides here. So you don't want to collapse that left side, but getting a deep stretch for this right side. Breathe in. Breathe out. Beautiful, everyone. One more inhale and exhale, and then inhale, lifting that right leg back to tabletop. Take your knees wide, bring your toes to touch, and sit back, coming into child's pose, arms extended out in front of you. Breathe in. Breathe out. If your blocks are close enough, see if you can grab them and place your hands on your blocks for a little bit of a shoulder opener here. So hands resting on the blocks, letting your head drop down, feeling it a little bit more in your shoulders. Beautiful. You feel that, everyone? Yeah. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more full inhale, feel the shoulders opening. And then inhale, lifting back up, move the blocks off to the side, hands on the mat, back to tabletop. Extend the left leg behind you, coming onto your toes, and then drop that left heel. Inhale, rock forward. Exhale, drop the heel down. Rocking forward, one more time, drop that heel down, feel that stretch in the back of the left leg, and then inhale, lifting left leg up. Leveling out your hips. So flexing the foot here, toes pointing to the mat, will help you level the hips out, and now push through that left heel. Inhale, lift the right arm up by the ear, palm facing this left side of the room. So really pressing through the left heel, reaching through the right fingertips. Take an inhale. Exhale, bring elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, elbow to knee. One more. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, elbow to knee, and then lengthen. Drop the right hand down, cross that left foot behind you, keeping shoulders squared. So really keeping the navel engaged here instead of, you don't want to collapse here. You want to press through the hands, the arms, and now turn your head to look over that right shoulder. Feel that stretch for both sides. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Inhale, lift that left leg, bring it back to tabletop. Take a couple of big circles, lean forward, take the hips over to the right, back by your heels to the left. Another big circle this direction. And if there's any area of the body that needs a little bit more attention, linger there. When you get back to neutral, take the circle the other way. Letting that air escape is good from our joints. All right, coming back to tabletop, sit on your heels if you need to put a block under your seat if it's too intense for your knees. Go ahead and do that. We'll just shake out our wrists a little bit. Interlace the fingers, make figure eights. And then a little bit for our shoulders. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead, interlace the fingers, turn the palms up, draw the navel in, lengthen down through the low back. So we're pressing our palms toward the ceilings, but softening the shoulders away from the ears. One more full inhale. And then exhale, bring the arm shoulder height and then in front of you. Draw the arms into the shoulder sockets and now cross right elbow on top of left. Bend at the elbows and either backs of hands touch, or see if you can wrap the hands around so the palms can touch. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. On an inhale, lift the elbows. And then exhale, see if you can bring the elbows toward your belly button, rounding the back. And then coming back to neutral. Release the arms. If you need 2 blocks under your seat for your knees, modify as you need to. And then inhale, arm shoulder height. Again, turn your thumbs down. Bring the arms behind your back, interlace your fingers, extend your arms. Draw the belly in, almost feel like your rib cage is pulling into the belly. Feel the chest lifting toward the ceiling. And then inhale the arms back, shoulder height. Come forward, draw the arms into the shoulder sockets, and now left elbow on top of right. Bend at the elbows, same wrapping or backs of hands touch. Inhale, lifting elbows up. Exhale, lowering them down to your belly button, rounding the back, tuck chin to chest. And inhale, lifting back up. Exhale, release, and shake them out. How'd that feel? Good? Yeah. All right, taking the block out of the way, coming back to all fours. Step both feet back this time, coming up on your toes, finding plank pose. And then just rock forward and back a little bit here. So really feeling the line of energy that we create here in plank. So we're not lifting our hips up, we're lowering them, not sinking them down too far to the mat, but right in that place where we feel good and strong and creating a line of energy. And then drop your knees down, rotate elbow creases to the front of your mat, keeping your toes tucked under. Begin bending the elbows, keep them hugging in, lower your chin and chest down, and then slide the body forward. Draw your elbows in, pressing the upper body just a little bit up into cobra. And then exhale, lower down, your toes are already tucked under. Push your seat back to your heels. Look at your arms fully extended. And now lift your knees and shins off the mat. Your seat is sent all the way back. Slowly begin to straighten one leg and then the other. Coming into downward dog. So when we come into downward dog from that extended squat pose, it helps us move into downward dog with that full extension. Breathe in, breathe out. One more full inhale and exhale in downward dog. And then look between your hands and walk one footprint at a time up to the top of your mat. And inhale, lifting up halfway. Bring the arms out, shoulder height, forming a T. Feel that engagement in your core. Where can you soften here? Press into your feet to help you lift with that flat back. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead, and then reach down for your block. We did this last week. We worked the arms a little bit. So bring the block in between your hands. You know, this way or this way. So push the block toward me. So feel how your shoulders are rounding and rotating in when you reach forward. Draw them into your shoulder sockets now. So pull the arms back. So you can see it from the side. So when I push my arms out, my shoulders rotate in. When I pull the arms back into the shoulder sockets, they get that external rotation. You can see how my shoulders and neck soften. So when you push the arms out away from you, immediately shoulders go up toward the ears. When you pull the arms into their sockets, there's a softening. So try it one more time. Reaching the block toward the front of the room, and then drawing the arms into their sockets, and then lower the block. And take your arms out. Really dramatically exaggerate flipping your arms up. Okay, now take a look. You can see your elbow creases and your wrist creases facing the ceiling, correct? Only turn your hands to face the floor. Look at your arms. So your wrist crease should be facing the ceiling. Your elbow crease, the top of your wrist should be now facing the ceiling, but your elbow crease should also be facing the ceiling. Did that work for everybody? So try it one more time. Really exaggerate opening, flipping the arms up. There you go. And now only rotate the hands to face the floor. Now bring your arms in front of you. Draw your arms into your sockets. This is how you want your arms to be in downward facing dog. What you've done is you've externally rotated your upper arm. You've internally rotated your forearm. That's going to give you less stress in the shoulders and neck for the pose. Believe it or not, downward dog is considered a rest pose. When we find the alignment in it, we can stay in it for a longer time because we're not having the stress in our shoulders and neck in the pose, and that area isn't working hard. Really, the engagement is in your core and your hips lifting toward the ceiling. All right, let's put it into action here. So come down on your knees. You're gonna go in a tabletop, but let's do the arms for a moment. So playing around, let's play with this for a minute. Bring your hands to tabletop and roll your shoulders in. You feel how your shoulders go up to your ears? Okay, now come back to neutral. Bend the elbows, circle them out and in. Feel the difference in your shoulders. So try that again. Take the elbows, it's a little awkward. Take the elbows out, make a circle with them, coming back to straightening the elbows. Feel that broadening across the collarbone. You feel the difference in doing that? Awesome. One more time, take the elbows out to the side, circle them, and then coming to straightening the arms. Step both feet back, lift the hips. Come into your downward facing dog, having done the shoulder, the rotation work already. Anybody feel a difference? If you do, shake your head yes or no. Beautiful. So oftentimes when I'm in downward dog, I will take my elbows, I'll bend them and circle them to get that expansion, the expansiveness across my shoulder. So, all right, drop down to hands and knees. Shake out your wrists. I know it's a lot of wrist work. So you feel that difference in the shoulder. So these are little micro adjustments that you can do on your own when you get in the pose. All right, finding tabletop, tuck your toes under, lift your knees and shins. Now press the belly toward the thighs and then lift the hips, straighten the legs, downward facing dog. Inhale, lifting the right leg up, lift it as high as you can. Maybe come up on the left toes, lifting that left heel. Then that right knee, lift that right knee up, opening that hip. Maybe see if you can kick your butt with your heel a couple times. And then lower and draw that right knee into your chest and step it forward. Grab your blocks. And use your blocks to frame that right foot and lift up where you're coming into a high lunge, this left heel lifted, and then stay here, balancing on the blocks, or see if you can float the arms up by the ears. Yep, and then put a little bend in that right knee. Yep, and then lift the left heel. And we're looking for extension, so don't bend too much into that knee. That knee, you want to keep the knee ankle in line. Yep, and then stay like that. Or if you feel balance, pressing into the right foot, then float the arms up. But stay there. Maybe lift one arm at a time, yeah, and then the other arm. But we're all gonna float back down. Bring your blocks forward and then step that right foot back for downward facing dog with your hands on the blocks. You can flatten the blocks to the lowest if that feels better. And then lift your gaze and either walk your feet forward, or we've got different levels in this class, so you can bend your knees, maybe hop your feet forward to in between the blocks. And then inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold in half, Uttanasana. Bend your knees a lot and roll up to standing. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Bring the hands to your heart center. Tadasana. Close your eyes for a moment and just notice. Maybe lift your toes off the mat and fan them out. And then lowering them down to the mat. Just take a moment to notice the energy in your body, in your mind. Take a deep inhale, sigh it out. All right, other side. Inhale, float the arms overhead, and exhale, lowering down into forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway, and then exhale, hands to blocks or the mat. Step back to plank and lift your hips to downward facing dog. And then we're gonna lift the left leg up. Three-legged dog. Come up on your right toes, lifting that right heel, lifting that left leg, and then bending at the left knee. Lift that left knee up, opening the hip. Maybe kick your heel to your butt a couple times. And then lowering that leg, into the chest and step that left foot forward, grabbing your blocks to use as support if you need them. So high lunge gives us a full extension in that back leg. Left knee bending to a 90-degree angle. When you feel steady, maybe begin to lift fingertips and then maybe floating the arms up. Soften your shoulders. Breathe in. Come up just a little bit higher, so not quite as low as not quite into a low lunge. Beautiful. And then exhale, hands down to the blocks or mat. If you like to practice downward dog with the blocks, do that again. Otherwise, stepping both feet back, lifting the hips, coming into downward facing dog. You want to take the elbows out to the side, circle them around to feel that rotation in the shoulders, that opening. And then lift your gaze, look between your hands and either walk your feet up or lightly hop. Inhale, lifting up halfway. And exhale, fold. This time, let's lift with a flat back. So take your arms out wide, engage the core as you lift with a flat back. Float the arms overhead. And exhale, hands to heart center, Tadasana. Take a big step back with the right foot and turn your toes to face this exit wall. And then have your feet turning, your toes turning toward each other a little bit. So both feet are facing this wall on the right side. Really feel like you're grounding into the feet evenly. And then bring your hands to your hips, but thumbs on your sacrum in the back. And then lengthen down through your tailbone and lift your chest. Inhale, opening the chest. And now exhale, begin to hinge forward, stopping halfway. Coming to a flat back. Draw the navel in. Release the hands, maybe fingertips come to the floor. Maybe the palms can come to the floor. You can also place hands on a block. Wide-legged forward fold. Pressing into all four corners of the feet evenly. And then bring your hands to your hips and lift with a flat back. Release the hands and then turn the right toes to face the mirror, the windows. Turn the left toes in a little bit. And then take the arms up shoulder height. Look at this exit wall so that your hips are facing this exit wall as well. And now bend the right knee. So finding warrior two. Keeping your torso, your spine perpendicular to the floor. Breathe in. Breathe out. So the knee is tracking with the second toe. One more full inhale. And then inhale, straighten that right leg. And then turn the right toes in. We'll do another forward fold in between. Interlace the fingers behind the back. If shoulders are feeling extra tight, you can bend your elbows, knuckles on your sacrum, and then we're gonna hinge forward. Maybe the arms float off the back toward the hip. Continue thinking about pressing into the feet. If you feel like you're rocking too far back in your heels, coming forward. And then inhale to lift back up. And we'll turn the left toes to face the mirrors. Turn the right toes in a little bit. Find your hips for a moment. Make sure they're facing this exit wall. Bend that left knee, then flip the arms in line with the shoulders. Just look to your back arm. See that it's coming straight out from the shoulder. Our spine is perpendicular with the floor. Maybe sink a little deeper in the left knee. Gaze is looking out over your left fingertips. And then inhale, straightening that left knee. Release the arms, turn the left toes in, and heel toe back to center. Maybe a little hop to finish it off. Last series to include a downward dog. Lift the arms overhead. Exhale, hinge at the hips, floating forward. Uttanasana. Inhale, lift up halfway. And then exhale, bend your knees, plant your hands, step both feet back to plank, and we'll lower knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. So knees, chest, chin, we're hugging our elbows into the sides. We're floating forward, gliding forward onto the belly. Keeping elbows tucking into the sides as we lift the upper body in a cobra. Exhale, tucking our toes under. Push our seat back to our heels and then lift the hips, coming into downward facing dog. And 5 breaths. Inhale. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Inhale. Exhale 5. And then everybody lower down to your knees. Take a child's pose, wrapping the arms around the legs so that more of the crown of the head is coming down to the mat. And if that is lowering your head too much, you can place a block under the head. Breathe in. Breathe out. Another full inhale. And exhale, and then on your inhale, round up to sitting on your heels, rock off on your left side. Swing the legs around in front of you. Move the flesh away from your sits bones, sitting up nice and tall. Flexing the feet, draw that right knee into your chest, and then drop it out to the side. So the sole of the foot is on the inside of the thigh. Float the arms up by your ears, get nice and long here, and do a slight micro twist to the left. And then begin to hinge. Keep reaching the arms forward, so you're lengthening the spine. At the point that you're gonna round the back and shoulders, lower the hands. And then breathe. Janu Shirsasana. And keeping this foot flexed. Feeling your breath help to lengthen the spine on the inhale. The hinging of the hips on the exhale. And then inhale to lift up. And then lifting that knee back up, place the foot over the left leg. So still continue to keep the left foot flexed. Right hand behind the right sits bone. Inhale the left arm by the ear. Get nice and long and then twist to the right, hooking that left elbow with right knee. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out, feeling your sits bones rooting down, making that connection, feeling the support of the earth beneath us. One more full inhale. And then exhale, come through center and just a mild counter twist to the left. So just fingertips. And then back to center, release that right leg, shake out the legs, windshield wiper the feet from side to side. And then you'll bring that left knee into your chest, let it come out to the side, sole of the foot to the inside of the thigh. Engage the other leg, extended leg by flexing the foot and inhale arms up by the ears, get nice and long. Slight micro twist to the right. Then reach those arms forward, reach them toward me as you hinge, lowering down. So we're hinging from the hips versus rounding the back into this forward fold. Breathe in. Feeling the shoulders softening away from the ears. Feeling the face soften. And inhale to lift up, and then taking that knee back up and placing it over the right leg, keeping that right foot flexed. Left hand behind the sits bone, and inhale, right arm up, finding length, and then coming into the twist. So with each inhale, think about lengthening the spine. The exhale, moving you into the twist. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more inhale. And then exhale, come through center. Slight counter twist to the right. And then release that leg, shake it out. Windshield wiper the feet from side to side. Inhale, sweep the arms up. We'll come into Paschimottanasana. So again, reach the arms forward. Feel that hinging action. And then lowering the hands at the point that you're going to round the spine. Blocks can also be used under the hands if that helps. And think about lengthening out of the hips on the inhale. Hinging at the hips on the exhale. Beautiful. Our forward folds are meant to cool the body down. So this is where we soften and begin to move the body into a more relaxed state. Inhale to lift back up, and then bring the soles of the feet together. Your blocks, if they're handy, slide them under the knees for a little support. wrap the fingers, interlace them and wrap them around the feet. Sit up nice and tall. Rock a little bit from side to side, really feel those sits bones, and then come back to center, root down through the sits bones, and inhale, lift up out of your seat, lengthen the spine. Close the eyes. So you can stay here. This can be your forward fold. Or with each exhale, you can hinge forward. But really thinking about that lengthening of the spine. And inhale to lift up. And then just bring the feet to the mat. Take them as wide as your mat. Bring the hands behind you, fingers pointing out. And just a gentle, slow dropping of the knees to one side, bringing them through the middle, and dropping them down to the other side. Doesn't matter which side you started on. And move with your breath here. So really make this mindful. So I like to inhale as I bring my knees through center, feel the breath in my belly, and then exhale as I lower them down. So finishing up on your last side. And then bring the knees back to face the ceiling, lower down to your forearms, lower down to your back. And then let your knees come together. Bring your hands to your belly, one hand on your low belly, one hand up by your chest, over your heart space. So we'll move into our rest pose here with a 3-part yogic breath, where we'll inhale a third, inhale another third, another third, reaching the collarbone, and then exhale a third, and a third. Inhale a third, a third, a third. Exhale a third, third, third. Continue at your own pace, 3 more rounds. While you're doing that, feel the support of the earth under your back. Feel parts of the body begin to not work as much. Feel the face soften, the brow, the space between your eyes, feeling the sockets soften. Feel the space from your jaw to your ear soften. As you then release both hands to rest on the belly, backs the arms on the mat, or letting the arms float down to the mat. Either palms face down or face up, depending on what feels more comfortable. comfortable. Give yourself a little bit of space, moving the arms away from your body a little bit, about 20 to 30 degrees. You can keep your legs like this with the knees coming together, or if you prefer to extend one leg out onto the mat and then the other. Coming into our final rest pose of Shavasana. Coming back for a moment to your why. Connecting with your wholeness. We are all born as whole beings. So our yoga practice helps us to be reminded of our wholeness. So welcome yourself here. Imagine for a moment what it's like to show up somewhere and feel welcome. Really, really welcome. Imagine that moment when you truly sense how delighted someone is that you've arrived. And breathe in that feeling. When we feel welcomed, we show up more. So there is no more powerful message we can send to ourselves than greeting ourselves with open arms. When you feel welcomed, feel that sensation of how relaxed your body feels. And give yourself that same welcome here. Think about how your expression would be on your face. Welcoming your breath into your body. Welcoming our mind onto our breath. Creating a safe space for ourselves so we can show up more. Begin to invite a deeper breath in. That closing song was sung in Sanskrit, a language dating back 3,500 plus years. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu was the chant she was singing. It translates to, may all beings everywhere be happy and free. May the thoughts, words, and actions of my own life bring happiness, freedom to all. Invite small movements back in, wiggling fingers, wiggling toes, making any movements that feel good right now. Maybe inviting a long stretch in by floating the arms overhead. And then drawing knees into your chest. Continuing to deepen the breath as you roll onto your right side, extending the right arm out to use under your head as a pillow. Couple deep breaths here, feeling the breath meet your belly, come up to your chest. When you're ready, begin to lift up to a seat. Welcome to keep the eyes closed or have them be at a soft gaze. And inhale, floating the arms overhead, palms touch. Exhaling them down to your heart center, soft bow of the head. So you can take a moment to thank yourself for this practice, these ancient teachings. So you heard my reasons for why I come onto my mat. My joy of teaching is to share these ancient ways, feeling how they've helped me modulate my nervous system and to share these practices if they help you with yours. The light in me sees and honors the light in each of you. Namaste. Happy Monday. Welcome back, Steve. Thank you so much. Thank you. And everyone that joined us from home, thank you so much.
Thank you, Nancy.
Joy, it rounds out the next, maybe I should have done the where we put our arms out like this. You all do that with each other, you'll join hands. See that? And then you're with all of us. All right, see you all next week. Joy, see you in a few weeks.
I will.
Nancy.
Michael, is that, I don't know if you want to take yourself off mute, we can meet. There's a, if you hit the button. Catherine, thank you.
Okay, bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Nancy. I'll see you on Zoom in a couple weeks.
Okay, wonderful, Deb. Thank you.
Yep, bye. Have a good
Bye.
trip.
And glad you folks were able to join. If you push the button, I could ask you to unmute, but you'd have to push the button yourself. There you go. What's your name?
Madeline,
Madeline?
Madeline.
Oh, Natalie. Natalie and Michael?
Madeline.
Oh, Madeline.
Madeline.
Okay, Madeline, got it. Thank you so much for joining us.
Okay. We'll
I
be
hope you
there
were.
in person soon.
Oh, good, good. Well, we'll look forward to that.
It's getting cold up here in Vermont.
I was gonna say, I guess you're in Vermont. Well, I honestly would trade it right now. It's been pretty hot down here. So I wouldn't mind a little Vermont weather right now. All right, you both have a great day.
Okay.
Bye-bye.